It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Bianconeri Zone live here for you today. It is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. It's your boy, Justin Sofro. Joining me today, Alejandro Fancello. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm actually missing us play.
Oh, what?
I'm missing us play. Like, I miss watching us play.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense. You know what? It's been... I actually did have that feeling today where I was like, what's going on? It feels like we're on an island right now. Because Juventus have gotten, what was the last game? That game was on Saturday?
Saturday, yeah, nice Saturday.
So nearly an entire week off before Juve play again. Almost wonder if, especially given that Juventus did pull out the victory last time, if maybe you got a little bit of, the pressure came off a little bit of Max Allegri, at least for a week time. Like, people aren't as they're so pissed. They're so ready to move on. Yeah. But it's not as heavy-handed as it was before.
Yeah, also because we played every 3 games, 3 days, excuse me. So it was like a habit now. So yeah. At the beginning of the week, I checked twice. I was like, maybe I forgot that we played, but we didn't. But yeah, it feels empty. Even though I know when we will play on Friday or lose, I will go mad because of the way we play and stuff. I still miss it.
Yeah, I'm reserved. I'm calm. There's also some different points too. I think some injection of hype that they're trying to get for fans, and maybe for a resurrection, if you will, for the rest of the season. We'll see if that ends up happening. Real quick, before we do anything, guys, if you're in here right now, do me a solid favor, smash that like button. If you're new here throughout this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. And Honest brings up a good point. He says that finally a Justin and Alejandro live. It's been a long, long time. I'm trying to remember the last time you and I, had done a live stream together. I don't even know if I can really honestly recall off the top of my head. But we're back at it. Oh. I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities here in the coming months to weeks, of course. I guess before I really get into it, right now, you're watching a game. How's that? Are you still watching it? Is it on or is it off?
I have it on.
Okay.
It's played. It's 2-0. It's done.
You made a comment. Yeah, you made a comment in our chat, though. And we'll come back to this in a little bit too, but you made a comment that you've watched a lot more Tottenham than you normally would have. Yeah. Can you expand on that a little bit? Expound on it for me a little bit, because here's the thing. Obviously, it's difficult for me to watch a lot of other leagues because of the time frame. I'm usually working while they're playing. Yeah. Is the intrigue with Tottenham player or coach based? Is what I'm asking you right now.
For some reason, when I have free time, they're on. For some, I can watch them. And I've watched them too many times. Like, I watched them in the Champions League away to Sporting. I watched them against Brighton. I watched them too many times, and I'm thinking about it. And never when I watch them, I'm like, wow, this is great to watch. I don't really, if you win, fine, but it's not great to watch. And they have quality. Maybe not all over the pitch, but like that front three, they have quality, and it looks so boring. It looks very reserved or scared for some reason. But then again, Tottenham have the best start to a Premier League season ever. At the same time, which makes me question other teams. But it's not great to watch. And even today, it was bad. That first half, it was 0-0. It should have been 3-4. It was bad. and I've already said it because people are saying Conte. I don't want Conte back, and
Yeah.
not because I think he's a bad coach. I just want something completely new, fresh, out
Yeah.
of the box.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel right now. I think it's a lot of it too has to do with desperation of wanting something better
Yeah,
for Juventus, and then knowing what feels like to me. Of course, if we're being honest, a year and a half, 2 years ago, while Pirlo was here, there were moments in the last couple months there that I was one of them. I know there are other people saying, "Let's get Allegri back. He would fix this real quick." Right now, we know what we get from Allegri. Always, competing, trying to win champion, not Champions League. He had a couple, finals there, but then actually performing in Serie A, and then here we are with what we have right now. So take it with a massive grain of
yeah,
salt. So it is there is that in the back of my head when it brings up the idea of Antonio Conte coming back to Juve. Though I think we've seen enough evidence from Conte at multiple locations. It's not a one-off. This is not a one-off performance. This is multiple
no, no.
locations of building up a project and being successful. Except for Champions League. I had to throw that one in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, he's. But if he comes back, he will build us up. Like I'm not questioning that,
Yeah.
But like long term future,
Mhm.
I want something completely new. Like I want a complete different direction. I know it's not gonna happen,
Yeah.
but like I don't want 3 years and then let's see what's gonna happen after those 3 years or whatever. I don't think that's sustainable anymore, especially for us because we
Mhm.
need. I think Julian did a live week and he talked about the numbers.
Yeah.
We are heavily relying on success in the Champions League, and with success, I mean just making it out of the group, win a game, win a round. That's already success financially. Like we need that money. Um, so I think you need to build something sustainable, like we had years back, where you're like, yeah, you're making out of the group,
Yeah.
usually win the next round, and then see what happens. Probably dominate in Serie A, like compete. Um,
Yeah. I don't.
and I think we need that. We need that now.
I just don't know how, like, for me personally, how beaten and broken I am as a fan that I'm just like, I just care about, I'm just solely focused in on the City A. Like, that's where I'm
Oh
focused
yeah,
right
yeah,
now, getting back there before I even try to entertain the idea of winning, a Champions League or, you know what I mean? Like, making it to another
yeah, yeah.
semifinal or final. Um, I don't know. To me, it just I put it in perspective. That's where I am. You know what? Let's just open it up. Let's get into this, guys. Another reminder: smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. As you guys continue to filter in throughout the live stream we have today. The main focus of today's video, I think, and what we're going to talk about is the return of a couple players for Juventus, which have been much needed. I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. Let's be honest. I feel like the excitement, the momentum that would have built a little bit differently should Juventus have not had a catastrophic failure, all systems failure, the coaching not doing their job right now. We could be a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more excited at this part of the season because we knew in October was the deadline, the timeline for Chiesa to come back, and then Paul Pogba hasn't played a freaking game all season.
Yeah.
So let's open it up with that. First up, the report from Di Marzio, basically saying that Chiesa could be called up for the game against Empoli, which is this Friday at 2:45 p.m., which is what I guess 7:45, right? No, 8:45, 8:45, and Turin time or Juve time, whatever you want to call it. it I opened up this first question to you is. And I feel like it's a pretty clear cut answer. I feel like there's only one way to answer, but it's just the easiest way to ease into it. Is the timing right for Federico Chiesa to make his return to the Juventus starting lineup?
I think yes, because expectations are so low. And at the same time, not me. I know a lot of people will put a lot of pressure on Chiesa, which I don't
Yeah.
think is fair. Not because of quality, but because I don't think he's missing match rhythm. Like he didn't play for a year.
Yeah.
Not sure how he will return. In training, he looks sharp in terms of like he looks himself in training, but like that's small clips. But I think the bar is so low, like that even if he's not at his peak, which he will not be, it will still look good. It will still look something excited to clinch on to, like to hang on to be looking forward to, and all those things. I think if we were playing at a high level and he needs to come into that team, and you will be like, but that guy playing now is doing an amazing job. Like you need to earn it. I think that will be more difficult for him. Now he can come in and basically recover on his own pace, because like let's be honest, expectations are low. Nobody's expecting a lot of anything from us this season at this point.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good moment to come back. Also, it's before the World Cup. It's a small period, so he can, even if it doesn't work out for him, like if he really struggles, you have a break. I don't know, for a month and a half almost. That is also beneficial, in my opinion. Like you take a break from, okay, what happened in these first 6 games I played, or whatever, 5 games. One needs to improve fitness wise. Like one needs to improve. You have a month and a half to work on it. Maybe play friendly games. We will probably play friendly games with the players not going to the World Cup, which are a few.
Yeah.
So it's ideal. I think it's really ideal. But let's see when he will play. I hope he doesn't play way too Benfica. I don't want us to do anything stupid. Thinking, oh, we beat Benfica, we still have a shot. Like, yeah, technically you have a shot, but like, don't force it. You know,
Yeah,
that's all
there's
I'm hoping.
there's a couple of ways that like I look at this, and that, and I partly agree with what you're saying about, perfect timing. The floor is as low as it can get right now. Well, maybe it was about a week earlier was about as low as it could get. Um,
Yeah,
my main worry is that there might be some sense of added pressure actually on Chiesa to come back. And really, I think the next question I had to you was, will fall along in line with this, was to come back and be the quote unquote savior for Juventus, like to really start, being the guy who you open up things with Vlahovic. You got Chiesa back. Obviously, right now we don't have Di Maria, and it appears Di Maria may be out for some time. Was it like 3 weeks? I think was the last report, or something like that. I can't remember if that's
yeah,
right at the top of my
something like
head.
that. Yeah, 20 days.
Yeah, something along that line. So we'll see if he ends up, when he does come back. So it would be helpful if he were here. But bringing Chiesa back, expecting him to be, Chiesa of the Pirlo Chiesa, that guy who was scoring, who was making things happen. Of course, he was playing alongside Ronaldo. Maybe he'll help unlock Vlahovic a little bit. But I guess basically the main thing I'm worrying about is, how much pressure is there on Chiesa to come out with a bang for Juventus, to come into that Empoli match and, at least put one back?
That's fair. Like that's why I said like some will put pressure. I'm not gonna do it because
Yeah.
like that injury is brutal. Like it takes something out of you, and especially for Chiesa because that's how he plays. Like he's fast, cuts really quick into a break. Like he stops, and he goes again. Like I'm not sure how he can do that now. But then again, like Del Piero lost something,
Hmm.
but he was so talented that he was still amazing. So I need to see how Chiesa will cope with it. But I will not like if he plays.
Yeah.
I don't know which games after Benfica. I forgot it. I forgot. Lecce, maybe it's Lecce. I'm not sure. But like, let's say he plays against Lecce, he doesn't play well. I will not come on and say, "Oh, I will say he was not playing well." But like, I'm not gonna go into it. Like, if he's playing poorly in February, then I will be like, okay, now it's becoming an issue. Like, I don't expect him to come in and save this team.
Yeah.
Allegri, he does. Like that's obvious.
Yeah.
He is banking his hope on Pogba and Chiesa to turn this around. I'm not doing that because we have far bigger issues than just 2 players. We will look better with those 2 players. I think that's if you don't look better by plugging Pogba and Chiesa into the team, then I don't even know what to say. Like I cannot even record a video after a match then because I have no idea what to say then. If you
I,
don't look better with those 2 players in it.
I that's the thing is, when you made that statement, I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. Like, at this point, nothing would surprise me if we still look like the same garbage team with those guys back. Just because, look at the guy in charge, and that's like my biggest issue right now. Is, and I'm trying to think the correct way to word this, and I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, saying that you're not going to be overly critical of him and his performance when he comes back to Juve. And I've taken that position. Um, with a lot of the team, to be honest. I think over the last couple months, just witnessing how they performed and how they've played, and like I know, obviously the way to heat you and Julian up is to throw out McKinney or Cuadrado and talk about them. But like to me, honestly, the entire team has looked bad. There's maybe you can see little semblances of a spark here or there. One guy, one of the guys who's confusing as hell that he's not playing more is Paredes. Like why is he not? To me.
Yeah.
He performed very well early on. He had a stinker here or there, but that happens. That's part of the sport. And I don't understand why he didn't play even last match. Did he play the last 2 matches? Did he get like
No, he came on like against Torino. He came on for like 3 minutes, and then after that, Allegri said, "I like the spirit, like a real teammate." I'm like, I'm not sure, man. Like, like you do that you do that to, I don't know, like a Sule or like an Aki. You bring in for 3 minutes. Like you don't bring in a Paredes for 3 minutes. I don't think Paredes was like, yeah, great. You know, I'm not sure about that.
It's. I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to do that to a player of his caliber. Like, yeah, that's fine. You go get your you know. You're not going to do anything. You're not even going to get any stats. I don't even why I'm saying, except for you get minutes played. Let's see. I see a couple of people commenting. We're going to get to that real quick. Misak said, like Celine Dion said, "Do you believe in life, love? Wait, in love after all." Oh wait, never mind. I was thinking life after love, which is Cher. That's not. Celine Dion. I don't know a lot of Celine Dion songs, but I'm guessing you're asking basically like a renewed love for Juventus now. I mean, it never left, but at the same time, it never left. But do we like? Are you ready to buy back in? Is what I'm guessing you're saying. No, like to be honest, like no, I'm not ready to buy back in that anything like can come of this until the coach is gone. Really?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the thought about seeing Chiesa and Pogba on the pitch gets me a little bit, excited to watch it.
It turns you on.
Not really. But let's see if they if they come out with a good GA, then yeah. But no. It's something to look forward to because again, Cuadrado, you said Cuadrado, like even like Di Maria, he had a good game, but like injuries, red card, like it's so inconsistent, it's all over the place. Kostic, he has assists, like in some games, like he looks very frustrating. Sometimes not his fault, sometimes it's his fault. McKennie looks completely lost. Like Cuadrado looks completely lost. So thinking about the quality of those 2 players, I'm like, yeah, like I'm looking forward to something. I need something at this point to be like, oh yeah, we're playing today. Nice. I can watch Pogba Chiesa because somebody made a good point earlier. Watching that team, I struggle to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna watch him play today with the current squad. Like I'm like. Juve, like I support Juve. I'm gonna watch it. Like I at times were like, can't wait to watch Pirlo play. I can't wait to watch Tevez play, especially Tevez. I was like, I can watch Dybala. Same feeling. I'm like, I can't wait to watch him play. Now it's like I had that with Vlahovic, but like he's fighting for his life at this point. But I feel sorry for him. I'm like, I cannot be very excited. But when Chiesa and Pogba step on the field. The way they play, like the way they are built, I'm like, it should be fun to see them play, which is a good thing. Like even if we're performing bad, at least I can look forward to watching those 2 play.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if I got that from anybody this season so far, it would have been, and Julian would argue this against me, would have been Di Maria. Di Maria, for the most part, when you see him out there, he's going to create something. He's going to do something. He's going to make some opportunity happen. Maybe sometimes he'll throw a bow when he shouldn't be throwing bows and stuff like that will happen. But overall, he's a good performer. And I've definitely come around on Di Maria. I never didn't come around Di Maria. It was always, I still have questions. We'll see. We'll see the second half of the season how much he's around. Luca Kundo says tons of pressure on Chiesa. He's been injured for almost a year. We shouldn't be holding him to such a high regard. To think he is a savior to the season is just ludicrous. No, but there are going to be people out there that have expectations for players that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
that are highly touted. Same with Pogba, same with Di Maria when he plays. You expect Vlahovic, you expect these guys to perform, regardless of, you know, if you've been out of play or not. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it is ludicrous to say he's going to be a savior. He's going to be, I don't want to say Ronaldo-esque because I hate to use that terminology, but you know what I mean. The pressure that I think was rightly put on Ronaldo when he played for the club. The second part of this I want to go to is, and then I think, or who was it? Was it Khalid? Or no. It was Raphael. I think was asking, do you expect? I believe you're saying Pogba as well. Well, the latest report we have, I think, is potentially that Pogba is back in training, but that he could be returning. Is it for the Benfica date? Is that the one? Is that the latest that was
I
out there?
think, yeah, maybe I saw Inter. Like it's a bit. Like that's why I'm waiting for. We're Thursday tomorrow. Yeah, so Allegri's presser. I
Yeah.
think we will know then when or what, because he made it pretty clear that I think a few weeks back that Chiesa could be back this week, which is reportedly a possibility. So I think we will know when Pogba could be back, according to him. Because now it's all over the place. Like one, he's saying this, he's saying that. He's just back in training, and he's not even training fully with the squad, just little parts. But I think that's already good news.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say real quick, guys, if y'all are in here, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Just want to make sure we really appreciate it if you would do that right now. I guess, and then this is my third part that I really want to go about this, and this is probably the part where we can really dive in a little bit more. With the what looks like potential returns of Chiesa and Pogba, some key members of the squad. Obviously, not having Pogba the entire season has really put a damper on the season. Though I don't know how much it would have in the long term or big picture, how much of a different place we would have been sitting in right now. Because I still think a lot of this is on the coach, and really until the coach goes, until you find somewhere else, you really are not going to see a big change in this in the club in the performances overall. But basically, from there, I go to ask: is the pressure on Max Allegri now, starting with this match against Empoli? Obviously, it's been on him, quote unquote, but like real pressure. I'm talking about Agnelli, the management, people actually taking this seriously and looking and sitting down and saying, enough is enough. Win these games or else. And that's what I look at it right now. And also, to go on top of that, does Allegri actually feel pressure, regardless of if there's actual pressure put on him or not?
I think he feels pressure. I don't. He doesn't show it, But sometimes with the comments, like when he starts talking about refs, he usually doesn't do that. I think that's an indication when he's like he feels the pressure. But yes, because he caused the pressure because he basically said we were missing key players, Pogba, Chiesa. When he has those players back, like, you said that. Like at the start of the season, you said we would compete for a title. Like not us. I mean, I said the same thing, but like you said it. I'm a fan, so whatever. You sat there and said we should be competing. We should be much closer than last season. We are further away than last season. So there should be pressure. There is pressure already. Like he added a lot of pressure on his own by saying these things. Like we will compete. We're missing key players. We will look different with Chiesa and Pogba in the team. Like he said that in that interview. All these things. That's what he said. So okay, Chiesa is back. Pogba's almost back. I expect better performances now. I don't like if he comes out and said, "Yeah, but now we need time," and Di Maria is still injured. I'm like, you're bullshitting me. Like you're lying at this point. You're absolutely lying. So he caused that pressure by performances, but also by saying certain things. That's not. I don't think anyone said, or maybe not anyone. Not a lot of people will be sitting here and say a few weeks back, it will look amazing. We will look much, much better. It will look all good. Everything will be fine if we have Pogba and Chiesa back. I think a lot of fans said the opposite in terms of it's not a given that it will be much, much better. In fact,
I have absolutely
Allegri
no
said it will be much better.
Yeah.
No, I don't like. I think like Julian also said it will look better by not better. It will be better by default because I think the Sanitana game. Yes, we should have won. That goal should have sat. If you have Pogba and Chiesa on that pitch, I believe you win that game some way, like not with a last minute header. I think you will win that game.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, just purely based on quality. I remember that Pirlo season, second part, we were trash. Like, we were awful. It was just Chiesa and Ronaldo just bailing us out week in, week out almost. Just doing it on their own. We were bad, and with just those two, cooking some things, and we were getting the wins. I'm not expecting it to that extent, but like Julian said, like, it should look better purely based on quality. Like, imagine a Pogba instead of a McKennie and a Chiesa instead of a Kostic. Like, it's better. Like, it is better. Probably won't be champagne football, but like, it should be better, just purely based on individual brilliance, like quality.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that, though. I mean, I think right now when you put up the idea, like I see Dan Berlide also saying, with Chiesa and Pogba returning, do we finish top 4? That's a long freaking road to climb, if we're being honest. We could have another run like last season where you see Juventus, which I'm doubtful. I mean, I even said at the beginning of the season that I personally felt like even though you got the players you got in, I kind of felt like you've had a better squad to finish last season out than they do right now, which is weird to say when you have Pogba coming back. But like me, I have to sit and reason. I have to look at it and say, will Pogba stay healthy? Like, it's fine that he's coming back, but how long will he be healthy for? Di Maria, these injuries, I don't know. At some point, somebody needs to check what's in the water. Is somebody like poisoning these players? Putting, like, I said I'm joking when I say this, but like Julian, like, are they putting too much like iron or calcium or something, or is it potassium? Is it too much potassium? Is that what's happening to them? I don't know. In the water, what is happening when they come to Juve? That Di Maria has almost been as injured as he has the entire time he was at PSG in less than a few months at Juve. That's preposterous. That's absolutely insane. Is it a rougher style of football? I don't know.
Same for Bremer now. Like, in 20 days. Which is a big miss. Now I forgot about it today. I was like, oh, he's out.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable. But yeah, like, you're right. Like, Pogba, I had that when we signed it. Like, I wasn't really over the top. I'm like, are we sure? Like, are we actually sure to make this investment? Yes, he's free. He's very injury prone. I don't have that with Di Maria because it looked okay now in hindsight. Yeah, but I don't know. Chiesa, same. Like, I think he will struggle. I hope he doesn't, but like, it wouldn't be out of, like, it wouldn't be be like, what's happening with Chiesa? Like, he could pick up a few niggles, like feel discomfort and cannot play a game. And like, I think that's normal. You're right.
Yeah.
I remember at the start of the season, I think, were we all on the show? Or was it a podcast with Julian when we said, how many times will we see Chiesa, Vlahovic, Di Maria? Was it Pogba, Paredes, Locatelli? Something like that?
Yeah.
No. I said not one time. Because at some point, one of those guys will be injured.
Yeah.
Like, it will happen. I don't think, even if I forget about will Allegri do it, like, at some point, one of these guys will be injured. I don't want that to be, but like, that's how it's going to be. We're not going to see that. And that's a frustrating point because if you look at other teams, not Milan, like Napoli, they look fresh as hell.
Yeah. Yep.
That's unbelievable.
It is shocking to look at. You look at, competition, especially Napoli, who just balled out. And they look, I've seen some arguments, and like, to me, it's a little over the top, but saying, do they look like one of the best teams in Europe? Like, or the best team in Europe? Maybe, but they look good. They look good. We'll say that.
They look very good.
Yeah. But also to go off of, before I exit off of this, Dan Berlide was saying about finishing top 4. I mean, the thing is, right now, Juve already put themselves in, a week before the last match, they had put themselves in a bigger hole than they did last season, where they were down, 12, 13 points, something like that from first place. Now Juve sit solidly 10 points back from Napoli. Right now, they are comfortably in 8th place. And when I say comfortably, what I mean is they are not really that close to jumping Inter. Oh, I guess they could, but, we'll see. But otherwise, everybody else, Udinese, Lazio, Roma, Milan, Atalanta, and Napoli are all comfortably ahead of them right now. And there's no, I don't see especially because it's going to get a little bit harder here in the next few weeks or so.
Yeah.
The competition they're going to be playing. I mean, yes, you have a chance, obviously, to close that gap, but will they take it, and will they actually be able to run with it? I consider me doubtful. Until I see a better squad, until I see Max Allegri no longer on that bench, consider me doubtful. So yeah, it's gonna be a long one. I'm not comfortable, and I'm not going to give a a prediction that Juve finished top 4 right now. It's funny that my prediction for no, I'm gonna stop tooting my own horn on this, but my prediction of 5th place is even looking optimistic right now.
Yeah. We're 6 points off Roma, which is unbelievable because we played Roma. I'm still confused why we didn't win that game. And we're 6 points off them. We lost 2. Like I think Inter lost 4 games. They're still ahead of us.
Yeah.
They lost double the games of us. Like they almost lost half of the games Serie A played this season. They're still, I think, 2 points ahead of us. Which is crazy. But yeah, like I went over the games yesterday in my daily. You have a chance to go into that winter break. You need to win them all, and that's not going to happen. But like you have a chance to be in a very better spot and be like 7 points off top, maybe or like 8, and be sitting in 4th place or 1 point around 4. And you can have a different conversation. But I don't think anyone is confident. Like I'm confident we will win on Friday. I am. I think we will beat Empoli. But that's about it. That's actually about it. That's as far as I go. Then we play Benfica away. We'll say now we will lose. I think we will lose that game.
I honestly don't care. Like at this point, I feel like we're too in the hole for that. Like to try to claw our way out of it. I just
it's impossible.
After you lost to Maccabi Haifa, it was done. It's dead. Like let's stop trying to resuscitate the Champions League for Juve this season. It ain't happening. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm sure things could roll. I haven't done the math, but I'm sure. How far back are they? Do you have that? Let me look it up. I
need to win twice, and they need to drop points. No, they need to lose against Maccabi. Yeah, they can draw, but then you need to look at goals. Yeah. How much you beat Benfica, but like keep it simple. They need to lose. To lose to Maccabi, and we need to beat Benfica and PSG.
So I mean, it's telling you it's not happening. It's not happening, guys.
It's not happening.
Like just let it die. Let it end the season. Let's just focus on Serie A. Keep guys healthy. I don't even care what squad you put up against Benfica. Which is again why I would kind of say maybe don't play Chiesa or Pogba in that match.
Yeah, that's
just rest them. We've done it for this long. Rafael Franco was saying, going back in time, would you have signed Pogba or Di Maria? Like either or, you just saying, would you sign him at all? I guess is the question.
Pogba in time, I said I want Savic. Like I've said it many times. I want Savic. Di Maria, I was like, fine, it's a 1-year deal. If you splash the money now this summer because you need to, like fine, I get it. It's a stopgap. I'm okay. I wanted Savic over Pogba. I said it, but like apparently we have no money, so that's what we needed to do, and we will have less money because we're going probably into the Europa League.
Okay, so I have a massively, I'd say massively hot, flaming take. I was going to say this for Julian, but I might share it with you here in a sec. Let's talk about it has to do with this and what you just mentioned about money and all that. What I would say to this question right here, it's all dependent, right? Like, so if you're telling me that I could have not signed Pogba, not signed Di Maria, but signed Milinkovic Savic, I would have made that move. I would have made that move just because I love what Di Maria does. I like him when he's out there, but again, he's a 1 or 2 year solution. You know what I mean? And I know all these things do not make sense. It's monetarily, it doesn't equivalate. What I would say is, and I'm trying to think how exactly to word this. There were the reports put out there of the idea of having a big splash. And can we be honest? Like, I'm sorry, you can't really sell to me that free Pogba and free Di Maria is a big splash. Like that never was, right? The splash never happened. But But and then now the reports of Milinkovic Savic are growing. They're going to grow. Are they facetious? Are they bullshit? Probably. Will it ever happen? I don't know. Well, there's a lot of things, obviously, that are building off of this. You have, obviously the Serbian head coach over here making comments about he would like to see Milinkovic Savic play for Juve, which is weird in itself, which I still want to understand, like, how does that come to fruition? Is that his personal thoughts? Is that his personal feeling? Is that Milinkovic Savic and the other Juve players, Kostic and Vlahovic, are they talking together? Are they, I don't know. Are they trying to woo him? But I don't really think they need to woo him. And then that's a good point, Julian says. Death taxes, SMS links. But okay, let's just go ahead and get into it. My what I think is a pretty flaming hot take. So we've been doing this channel for a year or so, a year and a half, or right? Year and a half? Has it been, or is it longer?
Yeah. A few months.
It feels longer just because, just because of the where we are, the dead time that Juve's in right now. But I always get all the the influx, and we'll get them in this video afterwards. The guys hit the like button. We'll get them afterwards. The comments of, you guys are talking about wanting to spend money. It's me. He's pointing at me. They're talking about me saying, spend the money, get players. Well, eventually, if you don't put up performances, you're not going to be able to afford players anyway. So do you put yourself in a bigger hole? But then my other thing that I talk about is any other IP, any other intellectual property, if you will. If you were to say, and like when I look at this, you look at Julian's in the chat. So right now, I'll imagine I think he's listening. I would say Marvel. And I know this is different because it's sports and it's TV shows, movies, whatever. Marvel, Star Wars, which you've seen people bitch about, and then they're starting to make this move for. If you continue to fail with this property that you own, if you continue to have Juve continue to lose games, if you're the owner of the New York Patriots, if you continue to see a downward turn, a downward spiral, if you will, if you continue to fail, what do most people do in this situation? What would most fans call for in this situation?
Change. Yeah, I mean.
But what kind of change?
Quality injection.
I would say that a lot of people, if this continues to happen and you continue to have change, you kept changing coaches and players, you know what they would say? Sell the damn team is what they would say. And that's my hot take a little bit, is I'm surprised that you're not hearing, as much as we love Agnelli, the family, as much as we love the Agnelli family, to say either make a change with Agnelli or eventually, you can't keep using the excuse that there isn't money. You can't. That can't be an excuse. If Juve continue to suck for a decade in a row, you can't use that excuse. The same way, if Marvel were to continue making shit movies, say they were to do that, people would tell Disney or whoever owns them, sell it. Sell it to somebody who can manage it properly.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to sell ever.
No.
I don't see that happening. But I can see a change happening. But I think a lot will depend on, Super League and all those things. Like, board decision, will they push it, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot, he's not going to step down. I don't think he's going to be removed when all this is happening still. And to be honest, he has credit in the bank, as
a decade's worth at least.
Yeah, it's been a good decade. Nobody I'll go back. It's been 3 years. I get it, but you usually don't win 9 in a row. You that's not normal. It's not normal. Maybe in Germany, even still, we should have better competitors in Serie A compared to Germany, but it's not normal. So he has credit in the bank, basically. But he's making stupid decisions. He is doing that. We know that. Coaches change every year, basically, which is not normal. Board members are being replaced by friends, by people who have no experience. And, said in front of the camera, I have no experience. Yeah. So it makes sense to be make a change, blah blah blah, do that. But New England, whatever, every NFL teams, the owner usually doesn't have his cousin operating the team. That's the difference. That's usually they operate it themselves. Jerry Jones,
Yeah.
Yes, he has people, but like he does it on his own. Maybe the Steelers, no, they have a different. Like the Steelers are a bit like Juve, only they don't have a nephew controlling the team, like
Yeah.
or like doing the day. With us, it's that. So it's a different situation. I don't think outcome is like I'm gonna sack you, or like I'm gonna remove you because you're on the hot seat. It's his nephew still, and he won for 9 straight years. So I think it's very difficult for him to do. He has credit in the bank to turn it around. Not 10 years. Right? I'm not gonna say that, but at this moment in time, it looks like we are just, making circles.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're stuck on that same circle, and there's no improvement. Like there's nothing where you'd be like, huh, not even on the field, be like, oh, we're making smart signings, that can we can build on that, or I can see what we're trying to do. Like nobody can see what we're trying to do. Oh
Yeah.
my, I can see it. It's win now mode, but like it's failing miserably. Like that's what's happening. But like we have no direction. We have no direction, and with the leagues, Netflix wants this, Arrivabene is following basically. Cherubini hasn't really much say in it. It's weird. Like it's actually very strange. I don't think it's healthy. Like if
Mm.
you even if you date in your day job, if you go to work, you have the boss saying one thing, the guy who is responsible for a group of people saying a different thing, and then within the team, people saying different things. It will be a mess. Like it will be a complete mess. And I've seen it. Like if
Yeah.
everybody's thinking a different thing and telling you different things, it will be a disaster. It will be. You can
Yeah.
see it because in previous years we were all on the same page. Marotta, everybody knew what they were doing. Everybody knew this is happening. Blah blah blah. This is your job. This is your job. Now, when I look at the board, when they speak, I'm like, okay, this is not in line. Like, someone is saying this, someone wants to go that direction, someone
Mhm.
is focusing on that issue, someone wants that. Like, it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I mean, you cannot win like that. Like, that's just impossible.
Well,
Maybe you can fluke it, but like, you cannot, sustainable winning. It's impossible.
yeah. Um, I guess one of the aspects to me that's like so difficult is I would almost argue, and when I say this is like almost because the person at the head is also is a reflection, is you as a nephew. It's almost like that almost expedites that to me. That it's not somebody that you can blame away because it is. It's a part of you. It is part of the Agnelli family who've owned it for so long. Agnelli family obviously are never going to sell it, and they shouldn't. But at the same time, you look at these other places like I see Rafael Franco's bringing up about Saudis or Americans will buy it kind of thing, where yeah, there's the oil people, the people with the money that have oil and all that have the money to spend on it. Well, do they also have the money to invest it? Will they actually make sure it's a winning product? You look at obviously Manchester City hasn't. They didn't end up winning in the end, but they, them and then also PSG. You just look at the moves that they're able to make, and it's one of the reasons. Obviously you get frustrated when you see Juve continue to struggle, and then they continue to tell you that we can't buy players, that we can't do this. So you see no solution. You see no solution. We can't buy out Allegri. Allegri's getting more time, or they sell you a BS line of I believe in Allegri, and it's like come on, this ain't it. Like at least show me make one move of goodwill, which is to me adios Allegri. That's all I gotta say is make that move. And Dan Bernardino says, I truly believe the downfall of the team. I've seen a few people say it's the only reason I brought it up. Started when we changed our logo in December 2017. No, it's not. I mean, the timing was the timing, but I don't think it has to do with the logo changed. And I don't
Yeah.
believe in, if you believe in witch doctors and stuff like that while you're at it too, then I don't know. I don't believe in any kind of curse, if you will, because of that.
Yeah, no, it's bad timing. I think the issue started when not really when we brought in Ronaldo. I think it was okay,
Yeah.
but then the pandemic hit and it went all shit basically.
How was then? My question is, how is everybody not in the gutter? Like, you know what I mean? Like if Juve,
Yeah, I get it. But a lot of people did struggle. It's just some clubs have more money. But like, I think everybody knew that summer we wanted Pogba, and it was basically done. Like it was Ronaldo Pogba coming in while Ronaldo was at the club. So we did have money. Like you're not gonna get Pogba on a free at that time.
mhm,
You know, you needed to spend money. So the money clearly was there. Like Julian did the numbers. I read that entire thread. It's ugly. Like our numbers are ugly. They're not bad
yeah,
compared to the top teams or like the big fish, but the revenue they have is just insane. You know, it's just insane. Like
mhm,
it's not normal. I mean, it's normal apparently, but
yeah.
like compared to us, you're like it's two different worlds. Like we're living in two completely different worlds. Um,
It,
but then again, like it's a problem in Europe. It shouldn't be a problem to compete in Italy. We're
is
still
it?
by far like
Mhm.
revenue wise the biggest team in Italy.
Is it possible for Juve to get another backing, another sponsor? Is there a way you can work out a deal that's a little bit, a little shady, little not shady, but you know what I mean? Like,
They did that.
yeah,
They already did that with G.
no, that's true. I'm
They
thinking,
did.
I'm thinking a little bit bigger, just a little bigger, little shadier. Anyway,
They need to make smart decisions. Like
yeah,
I like Bremer, but like you're paying him 5.5 mil almost. Like I know you the situation you're in at the moment, the lately like these things should be in place way earlier, if you know what I mean. Like I like Bremer, like 5.5, like he comes from Torino, like that's actually it's not okay. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not how it should be going, you know. Um Paredes 7, like you're thinking like what? Like it's so confusing. Like it's actually confusing. Like we're bringing in these players, but the wages doesn't match the output, or like that they valid. Like how do you say that? Have they shown enough to validate that 5.5 mil or like 3 or 4, whatever? You know,
yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Like even Locatelli is on 3.5. I don't know. Like he comes from Sassuolo, 3.5 already. Is it 3 or 2.5?
Hmm.
Whatever. But like some of the deals we make, like it's not okay.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Let's
I think it's 2.5.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that is right. I think it is 2.5. Um, let's go and move this one because I
But
realize
then
we don't.
again, Rugani is on 3.5. Like same thing. He's on 3.5 mil
Yeah.
for a backup. Even when he got that deal, he was a backup. Like you're
Hmm.
paying a backup 3.5, and he was a backup to Chiellini, Bonucci, and Barzagli.
Hmm.
Well, not one, 3 players. Like
How much are? I mean, how much are? If you compare it to like Premier League paying, how much is that? Um,
okay, man.
overspending.
Okay, there's yeah.
Well, I'm not
Then
trying.
again, if you look at City's wage bill, like they have top earners where you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god. But then they have players where you're like, that's quality and that's a wage, only that.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're winning and
Hmm.
they are gonna stay unless they're like, screw it, I'm just now playing for the money.
Yeah.
But like when you look at the wage bill of Man City and you look at some of the wages of some of those players, you're like, they're stealing. Like they're stealing money of those players. The way they perform
Hmm.
and what they earn is not correct. Then you look at us and you're like, how on earth is this dude getting
Yeah.
7, 3, 4, 5?
Can I?
It's not matching the performance.
Can I tell you how much I hate that that's a conversation that we have to talk about day in and day out? And like, it makes I
Yeah,
understand it. Like, I get it. But what I mean is like, it just sucks that that's the conversation we have to have here every day is about the wages of these players. Guys, if you're in here, smash
yeah,
the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Let's move it over. Let's move the topic over. I want to at least bring this up with you a little bit as well, and that is Gazzetta dello Sport put out a top 50 football coaches in the world list
I
today.
didn't see it, so
Well, I got it
like
for
I
you.
didn't look into it. Yeah,
Okay, okay, well that's good. That's good. We can get a reaction to you from it. Then I'm guessing you have also not watched my video today because I talked about it. But anyway, guys. Oh, if you haven't, guys, after you watch this, go check out the video we did today, or I did on the live, or not live stream, the daily video that dropped today. Check that out. Give it a like. All that good stuff. All right. So I want to get your thoughts on Gazette Sports' top 50 list of coaches in the world for football. Let me go ahead and just list you the top. Let's go top 10 real quick, okay? Do you want to take any guesses of the top 5?
Pep, Klopp, Ancelotti should be in there.
It's good.
Oh, that's difficult.
Okay, I'll give you. Okay, number 1 was Pep Guardiola, as you said. Number 3 was Jurgen Klopp. Number 2 was Carlo Ancelotti. So you got top 3 easy. 4 and 5.
Next 2. Surely they didn't put Conte in it. In the top 5. Did they?
Did they?
I don't
guess?
know.
You want to throw that name out there?
You say who's what?
Number 4, Antonio Conte at number 4 for Tottenham. And number 5, I don't know if you'll even get it. It's a City I coach. You might get it now.
Is it Pioli?
Yeah. Pioli got number 5. Of course, this
it's based on last season.
Basically. Basically, I'm guessing.
Okay. Oh, okay. I get it.
Okay. Let's just finish out the top 10, and then we'll go through. I'll highlight a couple other coaches. Number 6 is Arteta at our Arsenal. 7, Tuchel.
Wait. Arteta 6?
Yeah. Arteta 6. This is actually really funny. Number 7, Tuchel, ex-Chelsea. Number 8 is Graham Potter, current Chelsea.
Oh, come on.
Number 9, Julian Nagelsmann. At Bayern. And number 10 is Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. There's some other ones. Let me just go ahead and the highlighted ones that they had because they were the Italian coaches. Number 18 is Roberto Mancini. Number 23 is Gasperini. Number 27 is Spalletti. Number 40 is Inzaghi. Number 41, De Zerbi. Number 46, Italiano. And number 49, Maurizio Sarri. Both Allegri and not really surprised, but Allegri and Pirlo left off of that list. But
but that list is
it's kind of bad. It's
behind Italiano and De Zerbi.
De Zerbi,
it's an S list.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not gonna make a case about Allegri should be 32. I don't really care. I don't want my coach, coach of big Juve be 32 on the list and me be hyped about it.
Yeah.
That's sad. So I'm not going to debate that, and if it's based on results previous season, then I'm not sure what Arteta's doing there. That's hilarious, but whatever. But then, okay, I get Pioli is not the 5th best coach in the world.
Yeah.
But based on last season, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So I get some of the list, but and I get why Allegri's left out of that list. But I'm not gonna sit here and be oh, you should be 32 on the list, and I will look like an ass. I'm not gonna fight for place 32 on the list or something. They should our coach, and I know we have big teams in Europe. He should be easily in the top 10, easily. Not that top 10 because that top 10 is weird, but
yeah.
If you ask just a neutral fan, be are you coach Juve? Name, I don't know what the name is, Mr. X. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Where do you rank him? And you should be easily top 10, man. Maybe top 5. That should be the case.
Well, that was going to be my question to you. Is first, okay, let me just go ahead and I'll put all the questions out to you because it all kind of goes together and you're kind of working this yourself. So I want to go ahead and pretend like I actually did this and led you to it, even though you're doing it anyway. What does it say to you about the coaches Juve have had the last 3 to 4 cycles? And then is it more of a reflection of the coach or the club or the management? I guess management and club's kind of the same thing, but I couldn't use I look at club as kind of more player centric, but whatever.
Yeah. It's the management. They put those coaches in place. So it's on them. It's on them. It's a mess.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2 is if if you pick fourth coach and they're not even in that list, yeah, Sarri barely breaks it apparently. Then I don't know. Decision making is completely, is all over the place.
Yeah.
You're not even cracking top 50 with some weird names in it, or like names whatever. Like top 50, like how like top 50. Like keep that in mind. There are not even 50 top clubs in Europe. Like you're not in it, and you're coaching a big team. With quality players. Not all of them, but like it should be a given that you're in the top 50. Like it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be like questioning. Like he's not in the top 50. Like you're coaching Juve. Like
we believe Juve to be a top 10 program in the world, right? So you should have a top 10 coach.
Yeah, that's what I said. And the evolution is crazy because I think like a few years back, and you will ask this question, and people say Allegri is easily, like at one point there was a debate like he's amazing, top 5. That was a debate at a certain point. Like look at the 5 years and 5 year span. It's not 5. It's not even 50.
Yeah.
So it's crazy when you think about it. Even though it's a weird list, but like I don't think anyone is gonna debate. Probably people will debate and be like, "Hey, you should be in the top 50." I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not that desperate to go into it, but I think it's very telling. It's very, very telling.
Yeah, I'd say that the top 5. I'd be cool with the top 5. I'm cool with. I mean, you may argue against Conte, but that to me is another thing. The respect that Conte gets, that he is.
No, he did a fantastic job last season with Tottenham. He got him in the top 4. It's like he did it purely same. I said it many times. Like if it's based on last season, yeah, purely amazing.
Can we also, if you look in the picture, let's see if we can focus in at all. Can we notice what color Conte's graphic is in?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, it's black and white. They could have gone navy. For Tottenham. That's all I'm saying. Not everybody's just matching their team, but it is what it is. So I'm glad. Yeah, I want to get that out. I want to get your opinion on that, just because to me it just seems so. I don't know. Well, I guess it is Gazette of the Sport, but I'm honestly not even that mad at the list. Like I look at it and like there's something I can roll my eyes with, but I'm not like super pissed off or super. I don't think it's really, really egregious. But the one thing I can say is, last 3 to 4 cycles, the top guy you had by this list is barely cracking the top 50. And like, kind of is a reflection to me of why the club's in the situation it is right now. Though a lot of times your performance at the last clubs that you've been at determine now how you're viewed as a coach. So it's hand in hand, however you want to look at it. Just to me, it's a bit frustrating, seeing where you've been. What time are we at? We're at almost an hour. Let's just keep this next segment short. I had some more questions for you that I wanted to put out there, but we'll keep it short before we get out of here. So the next kind of topic that we're going to look at, and I hate to do it because we know it's mostly bullshit, right? When it comes to the Mercado that's coming up, it's always going to be a bunch of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit that's floating out there right now. But there have been a couple reports, and I call this segment the Return of the Least a little bit. Instead of, Lord of the Rings Return of the King, we get Return of the Least, which is going to be in January now. There are a couple of reports floating around there. First up, about a former Juventus player, Denis Zakaria, who is currently playing, well, I use that term loosely, playing at Chelsea, that he could potentially play or could return to play for Juventus in January. Real quick before I get your opinion on that one, obviously it would be detrimental because you'd be losing that money that they, quote unquote, were hoping to sell him to Chelsea for. But also, the last thing that he said about Juventus since he left is around the same time that Matthias de Ligt did. He said, "I believe I will be happier in England than in Turin. Maybe Juve playing style wasn't for me. The team sat back a lot and didn't have much space. I'm a player who needs a lot of space for my runs. Maybe that will suit me better in England." So, I mean, not overly egregious, to be honest. Not some of the comments that like maybe de Ligt said. But de Ligt speaks very plainly. What's your opinion about the idea of Zakaria coming back to Juve in January?
He's not coming back. If Allegri is the coach, he's not coming back. He will be loaned out again. He's not
Mhm.
coming back. I don't see it unless we're gonna sell players. According to Giovanni Albanese, we're selling everyone in January. Like he made a list, and I was like, that's not gonna happen in 1 month. You know,
Mhm.
he's firing ideas that not even fans are firing at the moment. But
Yeah.
other than that, like he's not coming back. Like, he will be loaned out again. I assume.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I just wonder, where that landing spot could be. It's the club's. It's not up to us. I don't need to even try to work through that. But that's the club for them to do. And then the second one is the idea now, and who knows? Because this is kind of reminds me of Rovella 2.0. Now
Yeah.
they're floating at the idea of Andrea Cambiaso returning to the club early in January is an option that the club is looking at. Um, back in early part of the season, maybe like the first couple weeks or so, this is something that I would have cared about and something that I would have yelled and screamed about pretty firmly to be like, okay, let's get our left back in, whatever. I don't even know that the left back's the biggest problem right now. It's not the biggest problem we're dealing with right now. The idea, is it preposterous? Is it a nothing story? What do you take from that?
No, it's not happening. One, Bologna are not gonna, say yeah, take him back now. And two, no, we have too many players, so he's not gonna play. Allegri's not gonna play him. Like, we know that. So no,
I'll be honest.
that's what I've said.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Zach.
No, because I said in my daily, I'm not gonna debate. I'm not gonna talk transfers because I struggle to do it now. Like in the World Cup period, then yes, 100%. But now, like we have bigger issues.
Yeah.
I feel like just throwing things out of there, like too much already. Cambiaso, yeah, it makes sense. Alexandro Scrap, blah blah blah, all those things. Actually, he played well against Torino. I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch. But whatever.
Yeah.
We know Cambiaso's coming back. If he comes back, Allegri's not like, hey Sandro, you're done. Decilio, Danilo, whatever. It's not gonna happen. So no, I don't see it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's there's a reason why I saved this for the end of the the end of the live, to be honest, because to me it just seemed kind of nonsense. But then also, do you know? I'll be honest, I've been a little bit disconnected from this front. But has Cambiaso been highly thought of while he's been at Bologna? Has he
He
been
played. He was good the last 2 games. Before that, he wasn't good. He
okay?
wasn't. Like I don't care what people say. He had 2 assists, I think,
Yeah.
and it blew up now. But previous games, he wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing, and I hope he does well because we pay money, and it will be great because we need left back, right backs, whatever.
Yeah.
But the last 2 games he was good. He had assists, but previous games he wasn't playing well. He wasn't.
Yeah, you want to see him be a valuable player elsewhere right now until he comes back. But that's why I think I saw some list or some kind of something up there that showed him like a recognition of him, and I was like, "What, Cambiaso? I haven't heard anything from him." So I guess it was just the last couple.
Yeah, last 2
performances
games he
in,
played
but-
well. Same for the winter because Raffaello says it. He was struggling big time. Last game he was good, but like you cannot jump. I like the winter. I said it. Like you cannot be like, oh, you played good this game, but what about the previous game? He wasn't playing well, which is normal. It's Serie A, first time. It's gonna happen. It's fine. Like you cannot jump to conclusions because Giovanni Albanese was already pushing. Oh, you'll be the first team next summer. I'm like, dude, it's October. Like, chill. Like, you have no idea what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
No idea.
Dan Bernide throws out the idea of a swap deal between Zakaria and DePaul in January. I don't even know if they're interested.
You never know. But like that, it's time. Like that's things to discuss when January arrives. I think it's too early now. Way too early because the World Cup will, uh, push teams into certain directions in terms of injuries, blah blah blah, players asking to leave, all those things. Like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But Arifabene said months ago, January window this season is gonna be completely different than previous years. So let's see what they mean with that. Let's see.
Yeah. I got sunlight right on my camera, so we're about to wrap this up anyway. Last question then. Do you believe that Rabiot will actually go in the January Mercado after the rumors was floated out there? That might have been a Giovanni Albanese one, actually, now that I think about it. Do you think there's a chance that he'll actually be sold, or do you think we're looking at more of a move toward? Well, he'll leave on a free if he leaves on a free, or Juve will end up ponying the money back up for him and overpaying him to stay at the club. And by overpaying, I mean no, Rabiot.
Oh, no, I think he's gone. I don't think if Juve give him a new deal, it will be around 5, which I think is already like it's too much. I don't think he's gonna accept that.
Yeah,
I think he will.
I agree. And then Raphael, back to what you were saying because I threw this up on the screen. Do you think Fajoli may leave on loan?
I think there's the possibilities. There's a big possibility.
Yeah,
unless Pogba's injured again, all those things, but like he's not featuring. I forgot he was at the club. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about him. Even Miretti is not playing at this moment in time, and he's way down the pecking order. So I can see it happening.
I completely forgot that he existed. I forgot Fajoli was on the team because we haven't seen him at all so far.
Same for Gatti. I forgot about these guys. I saw him picking up an award for best player in Serie B last season. I was like, oh snap! Yeah, forgot about him.
And he looked damn good. So I don't understand what's going on. Like why he's not getting a run. It makes no sense. If
Rugani plays tomorrow, Friday, I'm actually confused. I'm actually confused because like Rugani is not the future of the club. You should be hoping Gatti is the future of the club. So he should be getting minutes now. At home against Empoli, I expect him to play. With Bremer being out, I expect him to play. Well, let's see.
And and every time I've seen him, he's looked serviceable. He hasn't looked bad, so I don't know what's going on there. No. Last comment that I just wanted to make that I thought was funny. I talked about it. Was it this weekend? This weekend. Locally, a quarterback said on air, this is on TV. He said on air, so this is a little bit, I don't know if you know, but like, you watch NFL. There's been a lot of talk about concussions, about injuries, about stuff like that, about people taking injuries seriously during matches or during games. And one thing I've noticed is obviously with Juventus, people get taken off every 5 minutes with injuries. A local quarterback said, listen, I don't know if this is a faux pas thing because it didn't exist, but of course I played high school level. It was not, this is not something that I did not play collegiate or anything like that. But it's locally a quarterback said on air, when they asked about his injury, he said, well, I took that magic shot and went back into play. And the broadcaster was kind of stunned for a second. It took him like 3 to 4 seconds before he collected himself and continued on, like talking to him. And then my question is what is this magic shot? And it's like, is it a steroid, a drug? Is it, is it bath salts, smelling salts, whatever it is. And does Juventus need this magic shot?
Yeah, we need it. I don't know. Is it morphine? Maybe? I don't know.
I have no clue. He literally said that they shot him up with something, and he went back out there into play.
Adrenaline shots, isn't that a thing?
Could have been. Yeah, it could be. Whatever it is, Juve need to buy it in bulk. We need it in bulk. Get it for Di Maria. Get it for those guys.
Instead of that stupid spray that does nothing.
Yeah, that spray it doesn't work. I just thought it was funny, and also like the guy having that reaction, like to me, is like, oh shit, this is like something that. This is like it's real. Whatever it is, it's real. But you're not supposed to talk about it.
Nah, you shouldn't. I don't know. It probably is some. I don't know what it is. But like probably morphine or something insane like that. You do have those adrenaline shots in the army, isn't that a thing?
I
don't know if it's adrenaline.
Are you talking about my kid? Like my kid has it. It's an EpiPen. Are you talking about that? Which basically shoots your body full of adrenaline to like if you're having an allergic reaction kind of thing.
I don't know. But like certain things where you can keep going and stuff like that. You just get a boost, which doesn't sound healthy at all, but whatever.
No, not at all. No, I have no clue. Probably though. Yeah. Oh yeah, there has to be. I mean, or maybe we just watched too many movies. I'm not sure. I'm gonna fix this friggin' thing. I swear. I haven't done it. There we go. I don't do lives during this time normally, so I'm not used to I'm not doing the angle of the sun in this tiny window in this basement. So we're going to figure that one out. I'm probably going to cover it up. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Bianconeri Zone Live. Any other comments or anything you want to get out of your chest before we get out of here?
No. I'm just happy we play on, I want to say Friday. I'm happy. Also, we play on Friday. Hopefully, we win, so we have a chill weekend, like
Yeah.
a laid back weekend before we go away to Benfica. And yeah, nothing. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Oh,
Tomorrow,
tomorrow is a pick'em, yeah, and a preview and an
hopefully,
after dark.
yeah. If Julian shows up, we'll have a pick 'em.
If Julian shows up, he will show up. He's winning, so he will show up. I made the score, so he will show up.
I'm gonna do
And
it like
then
this, where he's on that side, so it's the 11 for him and the
Oh
bigger
yeah,
number for me.
snap. Cannot turn it around. And on Friday, it's just match reaction, 2 match reactions, live recorded, and on Saturday is a daily. On Sunday, oh yeah, Sunday will be a podcast. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Podcast is back. Someone, like a few people asked for it, but we didn't have any time. Also, we would be saying the same things on the podcast, so it wouldn't be, I don't want to say that, as interesting. But hopefully we win, and then the podcast can we make it out of the group?
Yeah, we'll have some interesting topics, I'm sure, with that one. So, guys, make sure you check it out. If you haven't already, check out the daily video that dropped today. I put some work into it, so do me a favor, watch that video, share it out there, hit the like button, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and of course, like this video. If you're still in this this live stream and you haven't hit the like button, what are you doing? Help us out, hit that like button, of course, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. You can follow him at Alejandro BZ on Twitter. He is Alejandro Fancello. You can follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Consider joining the member squad, all the cool things that we have going on here. It's only going to get better, guys. Like the floor, we're at the floor. It's going to go up. It'll eventually go up, and we will see a better Juventus. Any final words for you, sir?
No, thanks everyone for joining, and yeah, join me tomorrow for preview because I'm solo and I don't want to talk to myself.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we will see you all next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me. Alejandro doesn't know what to expect coming up next. All right. Did everybody go? Did everybody leave? You know, I do these stingers at the end of this now to have some fun. Again, thanks for everybody who's been hanging out with us. I really want to do shout out to you guys that have been here in the live streams with Alejandro, myself, with Julian, everybody who's been doing these through the last couple weeks, though, really, for being honest. It's been a rough patch for Juventus, and I understand some of the people zoning out a little bit. But if you haven't, again, please do help us out. Hit the like button on all our videos. Share our videos, all that good stuff. We'll have a lot of fun throughout these next coming weeks. And again, I'm excited. You should be at least a little excited for the return of the rest of these good players. Hopefully, Max Allegri will not do anything to hinder them from turning it around. We will see you guys next time. Bye.